Now, here's a topic I'm sure everyone in my demographic is just waiting to hear me talk about: football, players of football, women of the 60s and 70s who made astonishing pictures and are now doing great work in their 70s and 80s. Yeah, 80 for Brady. It's time we talk about it. Might have been one of my most hyped movies in a long time because this is my cast. These are my ladies. This is everything I kind of want in this kind of a movie. When you're telling me in 2023, Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Sally Fields, and Rita Morano are going to be leading a comedy about football where they go on a girls' trip thing, I'm sold. I love all of those ladies. And when you're giving them this space to be exactly what you want them to be, that's what I want. Like, it is such a simplistic and easy comedy that is working. And I guess I don't really know how to dive into an actual review for this piece other than just saying, go watch it. I think it's impressive that in 2023, ladies of this age are getting the opportunity to lead a comedy from a big studio release that is actually making money. This is one of the two films that came out this week that beat The Way of Water. The first time in 7 weeks that a film that was a new release has beaten Avatar is a new M. Night Shyamalan movie, and Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin leading a comedy in 2023. How is that not the biggest news you've ever heard? It's amazing. And this movie is fun. I really had a great time. Every single joke landed for me. Maybe because I'm so in love with all of these women. Every time they're on screen doing something, I am just like, yeah, why aren't we seeing more of them? I know why we're not, because they're older women and Hollywood's always been like, no, you can't do that when you're that. You have to be certain roles. But you see something like this, with all four of these women being talented actresses in their own respective fields, all of them award winners multiple times over. You understand how we don't have this current crop of actors able to pull this off. You take the same premise, okay? Women today, I don't even know like the equivalent we do today of actresses of this generation who are doing the same plot, the exact same plot, that would be able to make it as funny. It is funny because they're older and they're leaning into those personas of themselves as the older actresses, but because of that, you don't feel there's an equivalent today that could pull off this type of story. It's the story of four best friends who one day couldn't figure out how to use a TV remote, ended up watching a Patriots game, fell in love with Tom Brady, and now one of them might be sick, and they decide they're going to go to the Super Bowl to see the game. Simple story. The hijinks that ensues is exactly what you'd expect. There's a road trip element, they lose some stuff, they're dead on their luck, they have to figure out a way to win things. All of it works perfectly. Every one of them delivers one of the funniest performances I've seen in a long time. I don't know which one's my favorite because they all lean into different aspects I love. Jane Fonda, probably the love of my life. I have never hated her in anything. She is so fun and cool. She leans into herself being like the hot one, which I think is so funny because yes, that is what she is going to do. She dolls herself up. She flirts with some younger men to like let them sneak into places. She thinks she could still pull off some moves, and I'm like, this is awesome. It's so funny, and she is dolled up a lot, but it is still great and it works for her. Lily Tomlin is the quiet lead of this film. She slaps at everything she's doing. She is so fun and coordinated and so certain on the specificity of her humor that it works so well, and you love every single time she's on screen. Sally Fields just nails it. Like, she is just such a perfect powerhouse actor who has a really fun scene where she tries to flirt but doesn't know how, and then she like has this young man like question his own identity in terms of the people he loves, and it is such a funny moment and I really like to see it. But Rita Morano, I'm telling you, we haven't seen a lot of her on screen. And her in West Side Story, I'm like, that's brilliant. But she is such a comedic performance in here. Just, I think, more quiet and stoic than the rest of them, where you just see her like sneaking behind the scenes, doing certain things and just leading moments. It is so fun to see. All the supporting cast is great. Seeing Harry Hamlin, always a great thing to see. And yes, there are the football players, which I know is probably going to be divisive for some people. Like, do we like Tom Brady enough to see him the main crux of a movie? I'm not a Pats fan. I'm not even an NFL fan. I don't really care that much. But for what he is told to do, for a man who is not an actor, he gets the job done. They all do. Guys like Gronk who have smaller appearances it works better because they're playing up that kind of like dumber persona of them, and it works really well. I'm not saying this is going to break the mold. It's not going to change your perception of what like a movie is, but having a mid-budget movie with an older audience demographic to go see it, it shows you this can work again. And when you have these talented women who are one in a generation, we do not have equivalents today of these actors. You understand how this gets made, why it deserves to get made, how these women have maintained their relevancy for decades upon decades, and how they can just play off of such a simple concept. Like, I don't know how big of a football fan any of these women are, but when you put them in this situation, it works well, and it's honest, and it's cute, and it's fun. And I was smiling more than I wasn't. And that's something that is so hard to do nowadays, is to make me genuinely smile at a comedy like this, because we don't put mid-budget comedies in theaters anymore, and they feel hollow when they're on streaming. But when we have these actresses leading it, you're like, damn, we don't make them like this anymore. We should, but we don't. It worked well. Every single moment felt authentic and creative and driven to all of the right extremes. I have no complaints whatsoever about this movie. Is it going to be for everybody? I don't know, but the audience it is for, whether you're a fan of these women's, a fan of football, everything that, or everyone that loves that, I should say, is going to see the things they love presented on screen. Me, who's a Jane Fonda fan, great to see her leading a movie in 2023. I will not get over that because it feels impossible. It does not feel like it should happen, but it did. We had 4 fantastic actresses over the age of 75 leading a movie, and it beat Avatar. That's impressive. That alone is impressive and may never be done again. So, 80 for Brady. I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Hive, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.